Welcome back to Mrs. Stewart's Crochet Club. Today we're going to make this. You can do it. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. This is just double crochets incorporating a bead in alternating rows. To do this project, you need 2 crochet hooks. You need a large crochet hook like 4.5, 5 millimeter crochet hook, and a smaller crochet hook that will fit a bead. So this one is a 2.1. It's just something I randomly found in my stash. You will need a bag of beads like so, and you will need your favorite type of yarn. I'm just using a worsted weight. I think it could be Bernat Premium or something like that. So get your materials and please join me. You're not going to regret learning how to do this. It's so fun. Let's get started. These beads I got actually from a thrift store, but you can get these from a dollar store. You can get them from Walmart. They're called pony beads, and essentially you can find them almost anywhere. I think my bag was like $1 at the thrift store. And to get started, we're going to put our small hook down and we're going to start with our larger hook. So this pattern is done in multiples of 2 plus 1. So you can make this bigger or smaller depending on what your purpose is. I'm planning to make a blanket with different texture squares, and this is one of my textures. And if you'd like to follow along in future videos, you could do that as well. So I'm going to start with a slip knot. And I'm going to crochet any multiple of 2 plus 1 as a turning chain. And I've practiced this before, and I think for my purposes, 46 or 48 is good, and I'll measure. So if you're following along with me, do 46 or 48 plus 1. So that would be 47 or 49. And keep going until you get to where you want to go. Okay, so I measured mine, and it's I did 49 chains, and it is just over 12 inches. When we go back down, it's going to get smaller, and then when we add the beads, it's going to get bigger. So my goal is to make it 12-ish. And now we're going to go do the second row. In the second row, we're still going to be using this hook. We're going to skip 2 and go into the next one with a half double crochet, which is my favorite stitch. So all the way down, half double crochet, and in the end you should end up with an even number of stitches. So like I did 49, it'll be 48, including this chain, the turning chain we just did. Okay, so go all the way down with a half double crochet. And if you don't know what half double crochet is, I'm sorry. It is a yarn over into the loop, pull up your loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Simple, easy, quick, and clean. My favorite stitch. I wonder what your favorite stitch is. Is it also the half double crochet? I think it's a popular one. Okay, so half double crochet all the way down to the end, and I'll meet you up there in a minute. Okay, so I've made it to the end. I made sure that to count my stitches, I have 48 stitches, and the end of each row, you're going to be chaining 1, and then you're going to turn your work. Now, in alternating rows, we are going to be adding beads. So I'm just going to take my hook and set it aside, and don't misplace it. Like, remember where you put this. It's really important. So set it aside, and I'm going to grab a handful of my beads. And I am not particularly worried about color order, so I just kind of randomly look and see. Oh, they're running away. Okay, so you're going to take your smaller hook and insert it into the loop and do it kind of loosely, yarn over, and then we're going to do a half double crochet in the first stitch. And now we're going to add our bead. So I'm going to start with, how about red? Start with the red. I'm going to put the red on my hook, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull it through. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull it through all those stitches, everything that's on the hook. So that bead is now secure. This bead will never come out unless you cut the blanket. So there should be no worries about little children, although you have to be careful with little children in any case, especially with beads. But this is secure. It's not going to come out. Next stitch, you're going to yarn over, insert into that stitch, and do a half double crochet. And that's it. the next stitch is a bead. So we're alternating between the bead and the half double crochet. Insert your bead, hold it with your finger if you need to, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through everything. Simple as that. Yarn over and insert in the next stitch and half double crochet. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, we're just going to keep going until we get to the end. There we go. Yarn over and this one. Let's go with yellow. Some people are very concerned about color. I'm not. I just like it to be a rainbowy effect. Oops. There we go. This is such a good and inexpensive way of kind of mixing things up to make a really nice square. You can make a whole blanket like this. I think for me, it might get a little too tedious to put all the beads in for a whole blanket, which is why I'm doing squares. I hope that you are interested in doing a sensory or a fidget blanket. I'm going to be making 2 of these squares, and then subsequently I'm going to be making other different texture squares. I'm going to be making 2 of each for a total of 16 squares. How fun. I think mine might end up being donated to a school. I am a teacher, so I might take it, give it to the kiddies there. Okay, so keep going down the line here until you get to the very end. The very last stitch should be a half double crochet, not a bead. So hopefully your stitch count is correct and you end up with half double crochet. If your stitch count is not correct, just plop a half double crochet there anyway, because that's what we need as a foundation for the beginning and the end. Okay, keep going and I'll meet you at the end and we will turn around and do the next row. Okay, so I have made it to the end of my row. The very last stitch is a half double crochet. And at this point, I'm going to remove this smaller hook and don't misplace it again. And then we're going to pick up our larger hook and insert it into the loop, chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. Now we're just going to be doing half double crochets down this way, and I'll show you where to find your stitch. So you're going to be putting 1 stitch on either side of the bead. There's 1 here and 1 here, and then 1 here and 1 here. So let's do a half double crochet. 1, and then right beside it 2. And then the next bead beside the next bead. That's 1. And then another one on the other side. Okay, so we're just going to keep going down the line with our half double crochets on either side. And I stopped at the end of this bead row. I stopped and measured just to make sure that it was measuring approximately 12 inches. Or make sure if you have a measurement in mind, make sure that you just check it. It can be give or take. You can always block something to be slightly bigger if it's a little too small, and it's a little bit harder to make something shrink. So I would recommend if you're close to 12, just letting it be and then blocking it when you're done. Okay, so just keep going. Either side of these beads, you're placing 1 half double crochet. And when you get to the end, you're just repeating these 2 rounds. So you're going to keep doing this. The next one would be a bead round where you crochet, you chain 1, and then you go back and insert the beads. And you just keep going and going and going until you get to the length that you want. Okay, so I made it to the end of the half double crochet row. I'm going to remove my hook again and bring back the little tiny one. Insert, chain 1, turn my work, and start with a half double crochet. And then I'm going to take another bead. I'm not going to start with a red because I did red the last round. Start with a yellow. Insert my hook, yarn over again, and pull through all of them. And then the next stitch is a half double crochet. Grab my next color, which right now is going to be pink. Insert into the next stitch. and then half double crochet. So I think you should be able to get the gist of it here. Just keep repeating these 2 rows until you get to the end, and I will show you my finished product in just a moment here. Here's my field of beads. I love it so much. You can hear on my table how scratchy and textury it is. Like, it's perfect for a sensory blanket, a weighted blanket. This is just a square. So I mean, obviously I could make a large blanket with it, but I'm not going to. I'm making a sensory blanket. I'm going to make another one same size and incorporate that with other textures. I really hope that you would love to make a sensory blanket with me. Again, you don't have to do all of the blocks. There's going to be 8 different blocks. So I'm going to go off and make another one of these, and then I'll be back with the next texture square. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, please try and subscribe for me, please. It just helps my channel to keep going, and it helps me to get recognized on YouTube and kind of push my videos out to other people. I hope that you enjoyed this simple project. I think everyone can do it. I didn't think I could do it when I first tried, but I simply love the outcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye. Welcome back